Welcome back, guys, to the Sovereign Renaissance, a channel which explores the arcane and multi-dimensional topics. Now, in this episode, we're going to be exploring what is esoteric elitism. Now, the autonomy of exclusivity and control. What if the most dangerous chains ever forged weren't made of iron, but of whispered secrets, invisible hierarchies, and the intoxicating promise that you finally know something the rest of the sleeping world doesn't. Welcome to the architecture of invisible captivity, where the hardest prison to escape is the one you volunteered to enter, convinced it was an elevation. Esoteric elitism is the psychological and social mechanisms where specialized, hidden, or secret knowledge is used to create a rigid hierarchy of perceived worth, spiritual advancement, or intellectual superiority. While the study of esoteric philosophies can be a personal or exploratory pursuit, esoteric elitism, as a tool of control, transforms that knowledge into a currency of division. It weaponizes the unknown to separate the initiated from the profane. Key characteristics of esoteric elitism: the illusion of inherent superiority. Adherents are led to believe that possessing certain secrets or insights make them fundamentally more evolved, conscious, or valuable than the general population. Denigration of the ordinary. Everyday life, conventional knowledge, and mainstream human experiences are systematically devalued as sleep, illusion, or ignorance. This cuts the individual off from relating to people outside the circle. The gatekeeper dynamic. Truth is never accessible directly or through open inquiry. It is doled out incrementally by the central authority, teacher, or text. This ensures that personal validation remains entirely dependent on external approval. Unverifiable claims. Because the foundational premise often rely on subjective, hidden, or untestable spiritual experiences, standard critical thinking and objective peer review cannot be applied. Questioning the doctrine is reframed as a failure of the student's capacity, not a flaw in the teachings. The psychological impact on autonomy. When an individual absorbs an elite esoteric framework, their internal locus of control shifts outward. Self trust is eroded. Normal human doubts or disagreements with the group or teacher are interpreted as ego resistance or spiritual blindness. Empathy is diminished. Viewing outsiders as spiritually inferior or asleep makes it much easier to justify isolation, manipulation, or the dismissal of external support systems. The sunk cost fallacy and identity fusion. Because the individual has invested their ego into being part of an elite few, leaving the group means confronting the painful realization that they were deceived, making the psychological cost of independence exceptionally high. The core psychological appeal. Now, why do humans lean into this? Scarcity creates value. Just as a rare diamond is worth more than a common pebble, Rare knowledge feels more valuable than common knowledge. Identity and belonging. Now, this provides a powerful sense of identity. It separates us, the enlightened, the avant garde, the intellectuals, from them, the normies, the masses, and the sheep. Shield against criticism. If someone criticizes an esoteric elitist ideas, the easiest defense mechanism is you don't just have the depth to understand what I'm saying. The paradox. True mastery of a subject usually allows a person to explain complex ideas simply. Esoteric elitism often acts as a smokescreen. Sometimes the language is kept intentionally dense because the underlying ideas are actually quite shallow. Esoteric elitism thrives in the shadows of certainty. Breaking its hold requires a return to intellectual humility, recognizing that real wisdom invites open testing and does not require the degradation of others to maintain its value. The door to the inner sanctum is wide open, and the padlock was never on the outside. But as you step back into the blinding glare of the ordinary world, stripped of your secret language, your chosen superiority, and your invisible mirror, a quiet, terrifying question remains. Can you bear the raw, uninitiated weight of simply being free? Now, if you liked this episode, please do like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, goodbye.